And what I'll get you to do is just bob your head down. Look, you don't have to really slouch down. Just bob your head down a little bit to look under where that visor thing is.
Oh, the visor here, yep.
Yeah. This visor here.
Yep.
This is where your saddle button was here.
Yeah.
And can you see the broom yet?
Yeah, I can see it.
Up again, you can see the broom.
Yeah, mate.
All right. You come out and you can have a look.
So that's basically where his head was.
Yep.
Wow.
I can see his eyes sitting up, but I had to adjust that a little bit more to see the top of his head.
Christ, man, it's high, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is 6 foot here.
Yeah, the top of your bonnet there would be about 6 foot there, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you can see his navel, belly button,
Yeah.
right, just above here.
Yep. So we're saying there's another 4 foot there.
Yeah,
So he's 10 foot, even maybe a little bit more than 10
a
foot.
bit more than 10 foot.
Yeah.
Was there anything unusual about that day? Like, was you
Nah,
in
mate,
a
no,
funny
it's just-
mood, an unusual mood or something? Was it because just like for you guys to meet?
Yeah, no, I
Meet
just
paths?
don't know what it was, mate. It was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Just bumbling down the road. Like I just dropped off a load of gravel up the top of the mountain. Just bumbling down the road and saw this thing fucking roll out in front of me.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was rolling out. He was jumping down the embankment.
Was he like on all fours, do you think?
Nah.
So he was
Oh, well,
sort
no,
of
I
down,
don't
and
think he
squatted
was.
down sort of thing?
I think he must have just sort of squatted down and jumped.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, it's like squatted
You
down.
know, like you would off an embankment. This road's killing me.
When you leap, like
Yeah,
you're about to
he would've
leap.
gone like that sort
Yep.
of thing. And when he landed, he's landed like
Oh, okay.
a Superman land. Well, you know, he's on this side of the road.
Yep.
I'll just show you, but he sort of jumped out. Oh, well, he took bigger steps than me, but he's just stepped out. I think he was right in the middle. Stepped out and turned around and squared up to me, and just looked at me and gone, "Ugh."
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a punch, and he didn't thump down. He sort of thumped forward.
Pushed it. Oh,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like a rugby.
Yeah.
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 Well, man, that's high. Even just standing here, like I mean, I've seen your drawing and I've seen the truck.
Yeah.
And I heard your story a few
Yeah.
times. I've listened to it, but to get the idea and see your
It's
truck now,
different when you stand next to him and you think,
I mean,
well,
mate.
his belly button's here.
Yeah.
It's like even me, I can. I've
Mate.
got to be up higher than that, you know.
Well, I mean, you can see that. That's high, mate. Wow. And you reckon his features is more like a
More like a
chimpanzee?
chimp, yeah.
Yeah. Not like,
Did
a,
you,
like a man, because
Nah,
like a Neanderthal sort of being.
nah,
No.
no. I would say his face was more monkey than
Yeah.
man.
Was his
It
bottom
didn't have-
jaw a little bit protruding out further than, say, like a...
No, it was. That's where it was man-like because
Okay.
it didn't have the muzzle or any protrusion like a
Yeah.
primate, like a monkey, like either a gorilla or a orangutan or anything like that.
But like on the morning though, so it wasn't a strange feeling you had or anything out of the usual?
No, there was nothing out of the usual at all. Like the only thing different was, at the time I didn't have this truck. I had a different truck, a red, was still a S-line,
Okay.
but it was a red one, and that was my truck.
Yep.
And that's the one that had the dash cam. That had problems with the hydraulic pump, so that was in getting fixed.
Yep.
So I had this truck, which I like because this one's got aircon.
It's a little bit ironic and strange though how the day you actually get the siding,
Yeah.
you're not having the dash cam.
1 in a million chance, and it's the one time that I haven't got the dash cam there.
Mate, there's always a way because a lot of the time when you go out looking for these guys or you do research with these guys, you can have your batteries charged up, you can have all your electronic gear all set up properly, and all of a sudden your batteries go flat, your electronic gear doesn't work or your cameras don't work properly.
Yeah.
And in a lot of the cases that happens, it's just strange
Yeah.
things like that occur.
Well, see, I think this is a normal path for him to travel.
Yeah, but back to your story on that day. Like, tell me, go through the whole lot. Go through your morning and,
Yeah.
and when you left here to when you went up. You was going up to the monastery or something there to do it.
All right, well, it was, like I said, just a normal day, except I had a different truck. And we're working out of a quarry at Bow Desert and delivering road base, just to various different locations. And come 9 o'clock or something, I got this delivery up to Beachmont. So I've gone out to Beachmont, I've trundled up the hill and dropped off this delivery at the monastery up there.
Yep.
Nothing out of the usual or anything on the way up there, it was just a normal drive. And then on the way down, I was off the accelerator because we're coming down a hill, so I was just bumbling down this hill under compression, and we come to this big wide sweeping right-hander just before the park there, Sharp Park, and as I'm just getting into this right-hander, I saw something move on the right-hand side up this bit of an embankment.
Yep.
And I thought it was a rock rolling down onto the road, so I've hit the brakes and locked them up and skidded to a halt just as this thing's hit the bottom of the at the gutter on the side of the road. And that's when he stood up, like he'd hit I originally thought it was a rock, but when it stood up I knew it wasn't any rock. It was this
Whoa, what's going
on? Dark brown with a reddish tinge.
Yep.
Hairy monster, and like he's landed 2 feet and one hand on the road, and then just stood up on his 2 feet and stepped out in front of my truck, like from the side of the road to the middle of the road in one step.
Yep.
And that's a 10-foot stride.
Yeah.
And like I'm stopped and he's there a metre in front of me truck, and then he's turned to face me and like squared up and faced me, and just he didn't even know I was there. He just looked surprised and sort of
Shocked.
shocked, embarrassed, like, oh shit, I've been caught out.
Yeah.
You know,
What the fuck's just happened?
what are you doing? Like, you weren't meant to be there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he's turned around and looked at me, but as soon as I noticed that look on his face, it turned to anger then, and he's like, the embarrassment turned to anger as if to say, well, you shouldn't have been here. And then he slammed the front of me truck. It was like a straight arm shove. It wasn't a punch. He did it with the palm of his hand, and he pushed like from the front of me truck to the back of me truck, not down on the bottom.
Oh, you like pushed it through rather
Yeah.
than slammed it. Like
Yeah.
like you're pushing through it, not
Yeah.
against. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a downward slap,
Yep.
it was a push. Anyway, he's done that and just done this almighty like that, and then just turned. One more step was on the side of the road, another step,
Wow.
and he was gone in the bush.
At that moment there, it must have been, was your mind going all, like going through all different things, or was it going all blank and you're thinking, what's going on? Is this a dream or
It was just panic.
surreal?
Yeah, it was just panic. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't, like, he could have lifted the size of him, he could have lifted the front of the truck. Like, I just didn't know what was going on. I was just so glad he turned and walked off.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said, oh, you're lucky to be able to see one of those things. And I turn around to them and I say, lucky is when you see them 50 yards away. It's something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy to have it up
That close.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I bottled it up for a month before I even told my wife,
Yeah.
because I just didn't know.
How she's going to react to
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to go over it in my head and make sure I'd seen what I saw, and I wanted to make sure myself that I wasn't going crazy before I told other people, and they told me I was going crazy, sort of thing. So I told my wife, and my wife's pretty supportive and believed me, and believes that there's animals and species out there that we haven't discovered yet, and
No, that's good.
so yeah, that was really good. And then I told my family.
Has it affected you in different ways since you've seen it? Like, did you believe in something like that before?
No, I didn't believe in them. A bit like my wife, I believe that there's a lot of things out there that haven't been discovered yet. But I'd never sort of believed in a yowie or the bunyip or
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot
Hairy
or
man.
anything like that. I've heard stories, but yeah, they're just stories, you know.
So do you every now and then do you wake up with the image on on your face, sort of thing?
That happened. That happened quite a lot in the first month. I wasn't sleeping very well at all, and I'd have nightmares, or I'd wake up with the image in front of me and all that sort of stuff. And you know, it was really, really getting to me, and that's probably half the reason I had to tell someone. So I did, and as soon as I told someone, and as soon as I got it off my chest, all these dreams and that stopped.
Since the incident, have you had any sort of like where you telepathic sort of things, where you're seeing
Nah.
things or picking up things?
Nothing
Nothing that was connected.
paranormal
Nothing
or
paranormal
anything,
connected to
nah.
where he's giving you some sort of ability.
Yeah, no,
no.
I wish, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, there's nothing like that. That's why I'd really advise anyone that has seen one and is too scared to talk about, is to come out and talk about it and get it off your chest,
Yeah.
and you'll feel better about it.